iZotope Ozone has been my go-to for mastering and even some mixing duties for years now, and I always get excited when new versions come out, so I want to check out what's new in Ozone 12, and plus I'll do a little bit of a general overview of it in case you're new to Ozone and you can see what it's all about. But in this video, I'm mainly focusing on Ozone Standard and Advanced. I'm not going to be talking about ozone elements. I'll have to do a separate video on that later. So just to give you an idea of what ozone is, basically it's a suite of modules that are really geared towards mastering, but they do work in some mixing situations. And as you can see here, the modules range from vintage stuff, so you have vintage EQ, comp, limiter, you have some modern stuff, lots in there, and then you have your core stuff, like your straightforward EQs and dynamics, that sort of thing. But there's lots of cool stuff in here, like spectral shaping and some other cool things. We'll look at a little bit of these in a minute. Now, don't think that you have to use all of these modules at all times in every single project. Typically what I do is I use like 3 to 4 of these in every project. Maybe sometimes you need a little something extra if there's an issue, but usually it's like 3 to 4 of these things at a time. So you have all of those modules that we can load in this core plugin here. But if you get the advanced version, you can also load those modules as separate plugins on tracks, which is really cool. So if I wanted, I could go to a track here, find my iZotope, and I could load, say, the Ozone 12 Stabilizer. And now I've just loaded that specific module as its own plugin. And that's pretty cool. So let's have a look at what's new in Ozone 12. Now, both the standard and advanced versions get a new workflow for the AI mastering assistant. Now, I know a lot of people that use standard or advanced probably aren't overly interested in the AI assistant, but they have made some changes here that kind of make it more like an assistant than just something that takes over. So let's have a quick look at that. Before, you just had this auto master. You didn't have another option, and you loaded the AI thing up, played your song through it, it listened, and it came up with some modules and settings that it thought suited your song. But now we can go into custom. So even before it's listened to your song, we can set the target genre so it kind of has an idea right away of what you're doing. So for this, I'll say classic rock. It's kind of like a classic rock, well, maybe more like a country type thing, sort of an indie thing here, but that might work for it. And you can even select what modules you want to be enabled or disabled. I'll just leave them all on, and you can set your output level right away. And I do want true peak. You could even change the intensity of this. I'm going to leave most of this as it is, but if there's specific settings you like for every one of your tracks, you could save these as a default setting. So now I'm ready to get started with this AI assistant. So we hit Start Assistant. I'll press playback. All right, so you can see it's come up with some settings here, and this is the AI overview. So it gives you a quick overview of all the settings that it's kind of changed. But if we want, and this is what I would do, is we could go to the individual modules. And you can see it's done some master rebalance. We have an EQ on there, impact, imager, clarity, stabilizer, dynamic EQ, and the maximizer. So we can use this AI assistant settings as our starting point. Of course, we can enable and disable and delete any of these modules in here. You can also change any of the settings if you want. You can just use this as a starting point. So like an assistant, it's got you to this point, and now you can use your human ears to take over. Now let's have a quick look at some of the new modules that you get with Ozone 12, and one of them that's pretty cool is the bass control. So I'd probably want that before the maximizer, and you can see how easy it is to just drag and drop your modules around. So we have this bass control, and this allows us to very quickly and easily take control of our bass. So let's just do playback here. Week after week, and we spent those days getting dirty when no one sees. And night after night, we sang no woman to cry. So the flames danced around in your eyes. Together in that Bronco summer. So very quickly, I've increase the bass on there. Now, what if I wanted to decrease it? I would just go the other way, and we can decrease the bass if we want. So you could use this on a kick drum or a bass guitar or something that has a lot of bass information, and maybe you want to get rid of that, or maybe you want to accentuate it. You can do that with this new bass control module. Probably not something you would use all the time, but I do see a lot of uses for this, so you might use it actually more often than you think. So that's the new bass control. It's available in both the standard and advanced versions. I'll just get rid of that there. Now, something that isn't new, but it's been improved in Ozone 12 is the Stabalizer module. So you can see I have it loaded up here. Now, they've improved it, and there's over 25 new genre targets in here. So you have some new genres, and the way this works is you would load that target, and then we can increase the amount. Week after week, and we spent those days getting dirty when no one sees. And night after night, we sang no woman to cry. And you can see there's some other settings where we could have it focus more on the lows, so we could decrease some of the mids and the highs. And basically what this is an intelligent adaptive EQ. So it's just going to help balance your frequencies all out for you if that's something you want to do. Again, this has been improved in Ozone 12 for both versions, standard and advanced. Another improvement is in the maximizer, you have the new IRC5 mastering mode. So I normally use IRC2. I never really got into the other ones. I've always used IRC2 for years now, and I'm interested to checking out 5 a little more. I don't have a whole lot of experience with it yet because Ozone 12 just came out, but I do like the way it sounds. So let's just play it back. Week after week, and we spent those days getting dirty. One sees, and night after night, we sang no woman to cry. The flames danced around in your eyes. So yeah, it does look promising, and if you want to give it a try, you can, or stick with IRC2 like I do, or one of the other ones. But with this one, they say it adds more power and clarity without any trade-offs. Now, there's a couple of new modules that are only available in the advanced version, and the first one we'll look at is the Unlimiter. So I'll just load that up right here. And the way this works is it's supposed to undo compression. So if you have a loop that you downloaded and it's overly compressed and you want to get some of those transients and the original sound back to it, you can try it through this Unlimiter, and it's supposed to have machine learning in there that's going to bring it back to the way it originally sounded. Maybe you'll have to test it out on whatever source you have to see if it works for you. Now, another new module in advanced only is a pretty cool one. This is the Stem EQ. So let's load that one up here. And this one will be great if you master other people's and other bands' songs, and you get a file where you're like, oh, I wish I could change the levels of these drums a bit, or this vocal or bass or something like that. You can see in here, it has different focuses. So we can just add some little nodes in here and basically EQ just the vocals. Week after week, and we spent those days getting dirty when no one sees. And night after night, we sang no And or we can look at the bass. And the drums. And you can see it has this other category, which is going to be your guitars and keyboards, organs, pianos, anything that isn't drums, bass, or vocals, basically. So this is a cool thing if you just need to do a few adjustments to your vocals, bass, or drums, or other. You can quickly do that here without going back into the mix or without going to your friend or client that you're doing the master for and saying, you know, I really would like it if you did this with the bass or whatever. You can give this a try and see if it works for you. And again, that one is in the advanced version only. So in total, the advanced version gets 20 modules, while the standard version gets 14. And all the modules that come in the standard version, those are your go-tos. Those are going to be the things that you're using the most. These added ones that you get in advanced may not be things you use all the time, but they are things that can be nice to have in your arsenal in case some problems come up and you need those things. So you can decide if you do want to get Ozone 12, you can decide which one is better for you. And I do think they have upgrade pricing. So if you decide to go to standard and you want to upgrade to advanced, I think they have some pricing on that if that's something you want to do. And of course, when you master your music, you're going to want to release that music, and you can do releasing plus get a bunch of plugins and other tools with Lander. If you want to check out more information on Lander, you can click the video on the screen right there. If you liked this video that you just watched, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. For Audio Tech TV, I'm Zane. Keep creating. Fist bump. Thumbs up.